there. I mean, it's just a rectangle. Is there a reason?
It's why it's so tall.
Yeah, why it's so tall and why it's so wide?
Yeah, the height and width are both for driver. Like, the main thing we're looking at is how tall your foot is with the shoe. So we wanted a little bit of, we have the framing, the belly pan, and then we have the driver's foot and the pedal box, and that has to be able to be vertical in there. So we gave it, I think, about 10 inches tall because we measured what someone's feet. 10 inches is about right. And then with like a little bit of leeway for the shoe and the belly pan, we needed to add that height. In terms of the width, that was to be able to get out of the car fast enough. Our old car frame is really thin. Okay. And so like we'd have to be like this and get your feet out from really thin tube that's like barely the size of your feet. So we're going to make it a little wider so you can get out of the car faster.
Oh, I see. Because we were looking at the assembly, there was a lot of empty space, and what we realized was that like, because the thing is with suspension, like the hard points are like a major like thing, and like right now our hard points are like at the very bottom of the frame, the very top. But if you notice, like combustions or electrics, they have like one hard point on the very bottom of the frame and then one in the middle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were planning on doing that next year.
Okay.
This year this designer didn't consider doing a 3-layer. It makes stuff harder. It makes life harder for frame, but you'll have a year to figure that out.
What's the benefit of having a 3-layer frame?
So you can move your hard points close together vertically. So you can have a overall, you can have a better aspect ratio on like your width of your suspension to your height, because the width, we kind of need a minimum width for the driver's feet and the pedal box. Then we have a maximum width for the wheels because we need the aero shell, and we want that to not be super thick as well because it's impacting our air resistance. So by moving the hard points close together vertically, it gives us a better aspect ratio of length to height. So when you're tuning the geometry, it works out a lot better for most things.
Oh, like having
in terms of having negative camber when you bump. You want your upright top hard point mounted to the upright to be above to be above your top hard point, and you want the upper arm to be a little shorter as well. So typically what that means is that you have, instead of having a rectangle like we do, you usually have a hard point, ones that go out and then ones that go in again. And so that's something we're planning on looking at next year for the frame. But,
so it's mostly like camber gain and
camber gain. It's not having positive camber because that's really
well, when camber gain is always going to become more negative, right?
No. If you have your top arm longer than your lower arm, then your wheels will actually have positive camber.
Oh yeah, that's true. But no car does that probably, right?
It's really bad for the characteristics. Like negative camber is good for the main thing you're looking at there is stability. When you're turning, your weight shifts outwards, so your car kind of tilts to the outside. So you want your camber to be negative so that your wheel stays more
contact patch becomes bigger when it turns.
Versus if you're leaning over and your wheels turning this way, your contact patch shrinks to be really small. Not as much of an issue for us because our wheels are kind of thin and they're kind of like shaped like this, right? So there's a little bit of flat part, but it's mostly rounded. That means that actual contact patch doesn't change a lot when we camber over or like tilt over left and right, but it's still a characteristic we want to keep in mind, especially because it also affects your stability. If you're leaning over and your wheel's going in, your contact point's moving closer to the center of gravity of the car, which means it's going to have to apply more force to keep your car from rolling over, which is worse for stability because if you have enough lateral force and your contact patch is closer, it's easier for the car to flip over slightly, right? Versus if you have your camber as negative, your contact patch is moving away from the center of gravity when you're weight shifting there. So it kind of reduces weight transfer between left and right, which can help with brake. It can help with brake. It can help with making sure you have your coefficient of friction need on all 4 tires.
Okay. Wait, can we go over to the computers?
Yeah.
Kind of talk about some stuff on their slides actually.
Wait, do we have any questions for Jacob on this car?
Let's see real quick.
We have the batteries in the back, right? Okay, I don't know, because when I was talking to frame people about why the frame is so large in the front, they said something about batteries.
star printed or
No, hard printed here.
why it's so large in the front?
Yeah. But
They're mostly just pedal stuff, right?
yeah,
It's mostly for the legs. Yeah. Like you notice here, like they have about the same height budgeted for pedals.